Hey guys, this is how to tie PB's Marabou Marauder. There's the fly. It's a really good minnow imitation I use for bass. It's a really good bass fly. I bet it would work for steelheads and rainbows too, because it moves a lot in current. It's a really good bass fly for rivers, because the current just makes this marabou in the tail come alive. It's awesome. But I've already started the thread. This is a size 6 Mustad 9671. It's just a regular streamer hook. And again, size 6. You can tie it bigger or smaller. I think it would work better smaller, but it'd be hard to tie it smaller because it is a long fly. This is about as small as I go. I'll go a little bit bigger sometimes, and I'll also do an upturned looped eye salmon hook sometimes. But this seems to work pretty good. I've just tied some bead chain eyes onto this. You can also use powder painted bead chain eyes like are on this fly. Powder paint, you can really put as many color combinations as you can think of on these bead chain eyes. It's really good. It also works on lead eyes too. You can change the color of those to anything you can think of. I'll post a video in the comments section just to show you guys. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, I have a full rabbit strip here, and we're going to take this and cut it to about 2 inches long. That's just a good point to start at. And I am gonna get this about 1.5 inches long, tied in upside down because this fly rides hook point up for the most part. That's pretty good. Then you want to just tie this down. With the fly being like this, it's the leather side up. That's pretty good. Okay. Now, get that tied down a little bit better. And now you're going to have some olive marabou here. And you want to take just a regular bushy marabou and that, and just spread it all the way around the hook. And then do some loose binding wraps, and then just start putting a little bit of tension. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is 70 denier black thread that I'm using. I like thread that puts not as much of a profile on the fly. I mean, if you were to use 210 on this fly, you'd build up way too much thread on like the head area and this area back here. And there's nothing you really bind down hard on this fly, so using thin thread helps a lot with the accumulation of thread. On this area back here, we'll be tying a lot of stuff on. So now you want to take some white marabou. This is just regular white marabou. You want one of those bushy fibers that is just really big and bushy. You want to take some off the edge, put a little bit on the bottom just to start with. I'll just do that because I need to get some off the bottom and it'll give me a place to put it. Now you want to take the whole feather. Here it is. Get some extra off. Get it down here and grab the stem, tied in by the stem of the feather. And you want to make about, you're going to wrap it just like hackle. It is just like hackle. And you can do this with your thread arm on the bobbin, but, I mean the vise, What am I thinking? You can do it with that, but I just don't really like to. You get a little bit more control on the feather if you just wrap it by hand. Okay. We're getting this fly. Okay, that looks about good. Save this because you'll need it. You can tie it just with bunches of marabou like we did with the olive. You can tie the whole fly like that if you want to. If you don't really like wrapping marabou. This is a really cool method. I like to tie this fly as a tube fly sometimes just to try it out. It'd be really cool as a tube fly. Okay, now that you have the white, let me get my hand back there so it gets a little bit more. Got the white and the olive. Now, I don't really have very many big bushy feathers like that left on this olive patch. It's kind of picked over. So I'm just going to do the first method with this one, because I really don't have a good feather for wrapping on this. You can actually tie the whole fly like this and it'll look the same as if you wrapped it. Wrapping it is just a little bit more durable. I mean, doing this is a little bit more durable. Wrapping it, actually, I think, I'm not sure, but it might move a little bit better in the water. I always like to wrap at least one of the 3 parts that you tie in, just to create a little bit more movement. I always tie the first one in normal, like this, because it is kind of the base, and it needs to be more durable so it won't break. Okay, that looks pretty good. Didn't really get over here much. Most of it's over on the other side, but you can at least see some olive. Marabou's getting in my nose. Okay, now you want to take, I have these just plain chicken skin. This is just chicken hackles. You want one of these feathers that has kind of a metallic, not really metallic, but kind of a turquoise hue to them. And that looks really cool on this fly. You just want to cut off the tip and tie it in. These feathers are kind of short toward the tip, so you can just tie the whole thing in. You want to start wrapping. Make sure you push back the fibers on every wrap, and be very careful, because this hook, this 9671, is super sharp. It's one of Mustad's chemically sharpened ones, and I have gouged myself in the thumb more times than I can imagine, and it hurts really bad. I've had a whole fly ruined just because it got covered in blood because my thumb, I stuck my thumb really bad. So get that done, get that tied down to where the bushy fibers start, and go ahead and tie it off. There we go. Right where the bushy fibers start. Now you can already see that's turning into kind of a baitfish imitation. It looks a lot like a baby bluegill, like a 3-inch baby bluegill water. And that, it looks injured, it swims weird. That's a sure sign for a bass. Eat me. Eat me. So now, this head, this real bushy looking head we're going for, you're going to need to make a dubbing loop. And I know a lot of people don't like making dubbing loops, they like regular dubbing more. Dubbing loops make the dubbing stand out so much more